Hello, and I hope we're all doing well. Welcome back to more Fortnite news out there. Yet again, more Epic Games accusations. These around, though, apparently not paying players from several events. Now, it's actually a Reddit post currently blowing up as we speak. I will link it down below for all of you guys, but I'm going to come to the defense of Epic Games for the second time now about this subject. Now, please let me elaborate, because throughout the entire post itself, and I do have some background evidence to talk about as well with all of you guys, you should not be worried about this. Epic Games has paid out tens and tens of millions of dollars of prize pools so far. They are not trying to steal your money. I can almost guarantee it. If any pro players out there or players in general have evidence themselves and want to reach out to me, I would love to make a video about that, but I would not worry, guys. Yes, it will take time to get your money, but Epic Games is not trying to scam you. Now, if you look at the post itself as well, there is one screenshot about a customs event where several pro players and players in general were actually not paid. Besides that, though, this Reddit post with almost 1,000 upvotes, could have more than that by now, has no other evidence. And so I want to kind of, again, I would love to attack Epic if I could, guys, about them not paying prize pools, but I just don't think it's the case. So we have that one tweet where a few players were not paid from a single event out there, and that might be making you guys think of the Australian Open as well, which happened many months ago. It was actually sponsored by the Australian Open, a $500,000 prize pool for a solos and duos event. I've talked about it here on the channel many months ago when it was brought up the first time around, players not being paid for this competition. On top of that, it was dozens of players, allegedly even over $100,000 not being paid out by Epic Games, but brought to us by Epic Games' very own website. They're very transparent about the information. I will also link down below for all of you guys. Now, nearly every competitor for the Australian Open has now been paid. Yes, it took months and months of time, which I understand can be very frustrating for pro players out there, but also on top of that, you got to make note, when we're looking at all the accounts, all of the feedback of the players who were allegedly not paid by Epic Games or whoever was actually making these payments, a lot of the reasons were because players were not filling out their payment paperwork correctly. They were not filling out their forms correctly, and therefore it was the player's fault, and that's why it was taking so much time. Furthermore, you guys got to think about this as well. Epic is definitely not necessarily a ginormous staff, right? They are certainly short-staffed. They overwork their workers, and again, on top of all these payment issues, they are dealing with thousands upon thousands of emails and requests every single day. In the initial tweet as well, we had people saying they were messaging Epic on Discord, when clearly in their competitive blog, I will also link down below for all of you guys, they've updated this blog a couple of times as well. They make sure to note that players must be contacting them via email, not any other medium, not Twitter, not Instagram, not Discord messages. It must be through email, and I understand yet again they're going to be very delayed, but you also have to understand the level of manpower actually on that Epic staff compared to the amount of requests they do get. Besides payment issues, it has to be very extreme. And yes, I do understand they probably should be prioritizing their pro players being paid, but it's Epic Games, guys. They've made plenty of mistakes in the past. So on top of all of that, of course, probably be a bit strained in terms of their staff. That being one thing, the players not filling out their forms correctly is another thing. And very lastly, on top of that competitive blog, guys, they did update that as of 5 days ago to clarify for all of you, they are working on their payment process. On shown screen, or as shown on screen for all of you guys, they're working on making their payment process a bit quicker, a bit more efficient, and they stress for all players out there who actually want their payment to go through the email, of course, email them, but also go through your paperwork and check it step by step, because of course, if you send them the wrong information, it's going to delay the process all the further. And again, if you guys are players out there yourselves and you have information for me you want to share of Epic apparently ignoring you guys, feel free to share it with me, and I'll compose a video if you guys have enough evidence for me to do so. I would love to tear down any organizer who is actually ripping off their players, but Epic Games, if they are one thing, that is not what they are. Yes, they do a lot of things wrong in terms of, you know, weekly updates and breaking the game before big events, but when it comes to paying players, guys, they have paid out tens of millions. They certainly are not trying to scam kids or players out of less than tens of thousands across all these players out there. And again, very lastly, to make note, they very well keep track on their website, very public information out there, of all the current players still not yet to be paid from all the events. And then on top of that, very lastly, for all of you guys who are participants in the World Cup qualifiers who have won prize pools through there, they have not even started payments for any of the World Cup events or weeks quite yet. So I do not think it's going to be a big issue, but again, if anyone out there sends me some very clear evidence where Epic is actually reading these emails, responding, and ignoring players, then we have an issue. But again, you got to remember how busy, how stressed out they are going to be. I promise you guys, if you are a pro player or a player in general who is owed prize pool money, you will get paid eventually. Yes, it might take an annoying amount of time, but make sure to do everything right in your own power, and then we'll blame Epic second if it actually is their fault. So kind of trying to put a halt to the blow up out there, and I know we all like to hop on the hate Epic Games bandwagon, but when it comes to these kind of situations, there are certainly explanations, and I think they do add up in most cases out there. As always, I hope you guys all enjoy. It's been a crazy week of drama here on Esports News, so I hope you guys all stick around. I'll see you back here sometime soon with more news to be broken down by me. But until then, hope you guys all take care. I'll see you back here sometime soon, and Goodbye.